Deep within the Oregon wilderness, a group of firefighters responds to a raging forest blaze. In the ashes, they discover the charred remains of a cabin. Among the rubble lies a fireproof safe, strangely untouched by flames. Inside rests a blackened, half-melted book, the Necronomicon Ex-Mortis. One firefighter jokes about reading it, while another feels an overwhelming sense of dread. They unknowingly unleash whispers from the pages, echoing through the smoldering trees. The fire crew, still shaken from losing 2 colleagues in the blaze, sets up camp near the ruins. Strange heat radiates from the book, despite its burnt cover. A young rookie named Jess hears screams in the crackle of the embers. Their leader, Captain Roy, insists it's just trauma after the fire. But when shadows move unnaturally in the tree lean, unease spreads through the crew. Jess flips through the pages by flashlight. The burned parchment glows faintly, words twisting into fresh ink. The Necronomicon has rewritten itself, now fused with fire imagery. Demons wreathed in flames, torment by burning flesh. As she sounds out a passage, the forest erupts with unnatural sparks. An old tree bursts into flames without warning, and a horrific laughter echoes in the night. One firefighter, Marco, screams as his skin begins blistering from the inside. His veins glow red, like molten lava pumping beneath his skin. In seconds, he becomes a deadite, eyes glowing like hot coals, jaw unhinging to reveal burning teeth. He attacks his comrades with superhuman strength, spewing embers from his mouth. The crew fights desperately, but the forest itself feels alive with the evil. Captain Roy orders everyone back to their trucks, but the forest fire reignites around them. Walls of flames block every escape path. The deadite Marco stalks them through the smoke, chanting verses in a guttural, fiery voice. The crew realizes the fire isn't spreading naturally, it's being controlled. They are caged in a burning arena built by the Necronomicon's curse. The survivors find an abandoned ranger station in the woods. Barricading themselves inside, they hear pounding at the doors and windows as possessed trees claw to get in. Jess hides the book, but it radiates a fiery pulse that makes the walls sweat molten sap. One firefighter, Danny, breaks down, accusing Jess of causing this by reading it. Their unity begins to crack. The possessed Marco returns with reinforcements, flaming silhouettes of the 2 dead firefighters they lost earlier. Their bodies, blackened and smoking, move like marionettes. They slam against the station, their melted fingers pushing through the cracks. Jess realizes the fire itself is a vessel for possession. Anyone touched by its cursed flames can be claimed by the Deadites. In a horrifying twist, Danny is dragged outside. The crew watches helplessly as the fire consumes him. But instead of dying, his body twists into another Deadite, his flesh dripping like wax. His voice, now split into many, warns the crew that the burn will spread. They retreat deeper inside the ranger station, realizing escape is impossible unless the book is destroyed. That night, Jess dreams of a world covered in fire, cities reduced to burning skeletons. She sees herself holding the Necronomicon, her eyes glowing as Deadites kneel before her. She wakes in terror, fearing the book has marked her as its chosen vessel. The whispers grow louder in her head, calling her the keeper of the burn. She hides this from the others. The next morning, the sky turns black as a storm of ash rains down. The crew ventures out for supplies, but the forest is unrecognizable. Trees shaped like screaming faces, rivers of lava cutting off paths. Roy insists they must reach their fire trucks for the radio, but Jess warns the fire itself won't let them. As they argue, more Deadites emerge from burning trees. The crew battles Deadites with axes, chainsaws, and fire hoses, but every cut only fuels the flames inside their enemies. One firefighter, Kelly, sacrifices herself by luring a Deadite into a fuel tank, setting it ablaze in a massive explosion. The blast clears a path, but also awakens something far worse, a towering demon of molten rock rising from the earth. The creature, shaped like a giant burning skeleton, tears through the forest. It bellows that the Necronomicon has birthed the Age of Fire. The survivors scatter in panic, barely escaping the monster's fiery grasp. Jess clutches the book tighter, realizing it's feeding the demon with every heartbeat. The only way to stop it is to return the book to the flames, but at a cost. The crew flees deeper into the woods, now warped into a labyrinth of fire and bone. Voices of their fallen comrades cry from the smoke, luring them off the path. One firefighter, Mia, succumbs to the hallucinations, walking into the flames and transforming instantly into a Deadite. Jess is forced to kill her with an axe, her hands trembling as she begins to lose her humanity. Captain Roy discovers Jess's visions and accuses her of being corrupted. He believes killing her is the only way to end the curse. The crew divides, some side with Roy, others with Jess. As tension erupts, the fire demon arrives again, tearing through the trees. Roy tries to kill Jess, but is caught in the demon's grasp, his body igniting as he screams. The surviving crew watches in horror as Roy's charred remains rise again as a monstrous Deadite, larger and stronger than the others. His body radiates unbearable heat, warping metal and wood around him. Jess realizes she must embrace the book's power to fight him, even if it damns her soul. The others reluctantly agree, seeing no other way. Jess reads from the Necronomicon, her voice merging with the whispers. Flames circle her, shielding her from the Deadites. Her eyes glow ember red as she summons chains of molten fire to fight back. The crew looks on in terror. Jess is no longer entirely human. She drives the Deadites back, but the demon roars in approval, calling her daughter of flame. The ranger station becomes the battlefield as Deadite Roy and the fire demon converge. Jess, half-possessed but still fighting for control, wields the book as a weapon, channeling fire against fire. The surviving crew aids her with axes, hoses, and explosives. The station collapses into flames as Jess traps the demon in a burning circle of cursed fire. At dawn, the fire trucks finally make contact with civilization. The two surviving firefighters, battered and broken, are rescued. News reports say the forest fire was contained, but there are whispers of screaming faces in the smoke. The survivors refuse to speak of what really happened, their eyes haunted by the memory of Jess's sacrifice. In the final scene, a hiker wanders into the ruins of the crater weeks later. Beneath the ash, he finds something glowing, a charred but intact book, whispering faintly. As he opens it, fire bursts from the ground, and Jess's voice whispers, "The burn is forever." The screen fades to black with the words, "Evil Dead Burn."